I'm pleased to say I'm joined by one of the newest title winners on the Challenge Tour, Cameron Crabtree. Thanks for the time, Cameron. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Great to have you on. And looking back at the last 6 months, a 9-darter on the development tour, that monster average on your debut on the Modus League, winning a Challenge Tour, and you're now playing on the Pro Tour. Have you had time to reflect on what you've achieved in such a short period?
I'm not sure it's all settled in just yet. It's been a great few months, obviously, and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. But yeah, I think it's just something I'm trying to take in my stride and not think too much, just throw.
Lots to get to, but let's go back to the very start for you in darts, and you're still only 19, so how old were you when you first got introduced to the game?
Well, my dad's always played since I was little, but I'd never really played. Occasionally he'd throw when I went over to his, maybe during the holidays or something, but I wouldn't really get that involved. It was only when I'd moved to his and we went into lockdown, my exams were cancelled, so I was bored and there was not much to do, so I thought I'd try throwing just to pass the time, and I quite enjoyed it, and it's come on from then.
As you say, it was during the lockdowns you really got into darts, and some people would have noticed you playing on the IDL streams being run by our colleague Matthew Kiernan. I think there's a stream on YouTube of you playing in Division 6 of their lockdown league back in 2020. Before then, I'm guessing then you'd not really played much darts, and that is what got you into it.
Yeah, I think I played for maybe a week or two before I joined the league, because obviously I had to wait for the one before to end. But no, I joined straight away. I was averaging like 40 or high 30s, and at the time, I mean, now if I was to do that, obviously I wouldn't be impressed. I'd wonder what was going on, but at the time I thought it was great.
Well, obviously during that time there wasn't a lot to do. Everyone was stuck at home, so I'm guessing at that time as well you were putting in more hours on the board to try and improve on that 30-40 average.
Yeah, I was practicing a lot. As you say, there wasn't much to do. Couldn't really go out. So a lot of my time was spent just throwing, and that's probably played a big part in how quickly I've progressed.
And with these leagues as well, all the stats are there for you, so you can track your progress. You're going from averaging in the 30s and 40s to the 50s to the 60s. What was it like for you seeing that improvement in your game over a fairly short period of time?
Yeah, it was nice, and I think it helped me to progress, because as soon as I had thrown a 50, I wanted to throw a 60, or as soon as I threw a 55, I wanted to throw, I wanted to get to 60 and a 65. As well as moving up the leagues, so you're playing better people, which is obviously going to make you play better, but you're also kind of setting yourself targets.
And talking of targets, another one, 2021, we see you go and play on the development tour for the first time. Back then, the PDC, they were putting on 6 tournaments a weekend, so how did you find that first taste of the whole PDC setup?
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. As soon as it was finished, I couldn't wait to go back. Obviously, I didn't have the best results that weekend, but it was my first time going, and I hadn't played a Super League game or anything like that, other than, I think maybe 1 or 2 local league games. That was the first real games I played out in person, along with maybe a couple of IDL ones.
And then last year, 2022, we see you go to Q School for the first time. We're also trying out the Challenge Tour as well, but it is on the development tour where we see you have one of your first deep runs, making a semi-final. How much confidence did you take from that?
Yeah, that really helped me, I think, mentally, because I'd been playing some okay stuff in practice and at Super League, and I just didn't feel like I was taking it to development tour. The first two weekends, I think I picked up £150 in total, and then I went out to Germany, and I think I put 900 on the rankings, which was a big thing for me, and it gave me a lot of confidence that I can actually compete at that level.
And we have to mention as well the 9-darter as well on the Challenge Tour later that year. Nathan Gervin, he was running away with it 4-1 up in that race to 5, and then you throw your first 9-darter. What was that moment like?
Yeah, I think about it. Well, like, people talk about it, and I can remember hitting the first 180, and normally straight away I think like I'm on for a 9. But I was losing so badly, I didn't even think that. I just thought, like, I hope I can hit something good the next throw because I really need it. And there was no hesitancy or anything, and I was surprised the double went in, to be fair. It's the first time I'd ever had a dart at it. And yeah, then I jumped around a bit like an idiot, and then I think I lost 5-2.
Good times. Well, off the back of that, you get the call up for the Modus League as well, and debuts, they don't get much better. A 115 average in your first game. Was it hard to come down from that high of playing that well going into the next few games?
Yeah, I mean, it was great, but then I didn't really know how to react because obviously not something I've done before. My first time there, my first time throwing that average. Normally I'd message my dad or someone, but you can't use your phone in there for like betting reasons. So I didn't really know what to do. I think I didn't come down maybe as quick as I needed to, and then when I did, I didn't get myself kind of reared back up to play. It was difficult, really.
Well, in darts, the averages, they get spoken about a lot, but that 115 to throw that when only 2 years ago you were averaging around half that, it's a huge jump. So I'm interested to know what you think as someone that has risen through the averages. What was the hardest average to crack? Was it breaking 50, 60, 70 or maybe higher?
I don't know, I think they're all difficult, but there's different things that you need on each one probably. I would say maybe 60 to 25 dart leg. So you need to score pretty straight and hit your double quite soon. So probably that.
Well, I'll let you know when I get there. I'm struggling to break 50 at the moment, but we should mention Matthew, the darting nerd. You've found some more fame being one of the players that he's followed on his popular Dart Connect reaction videos at Q School and the Challenge Tour this year. So how good is it to have that support from friends and family?
Yeah, it's really nice. Matt's a great guy. He does a lot for darts, in our area, and the support from friends and family has been great throughout. Q School, Challenge Tour, Development Tour, Modus. They're all really supportive of everything. So it's quite nice.
And this year started with your second trip to Q School. You make it through to that second stage. You went close to a tour card on the last day, getting to the last 16. So how did you reflect on this year's Q School, and what were the goals for the rest of the year after missing out?
Yeah, so my goal before Q School was just to make the second stage, which I did, and I was really happy with how I performed in the first stage. I had a really good set of results on the first day before I lost to Darryl with 110, so that was nice of him. He wasn't allowed back in the room. But yeah, I think going into the second stage, maybe I thought about it a bit too much, which it was my first time there. It's not a problem. It's something to learn from. My goals going forward, I wanted to win a title this year, and I thought maybe development, but now I want one on the challenge, I guess. Maybe win another one. And if I don't finish like top 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, on challenge or development, then to qualify for UK Open and second stage of Q School would probably be another goal.
Well, one of them goals that you mentioned, the title in the PDC, that comes pretty soon after Q School, winning on the Challenge Tour, and we know they can be long days. Just looking at the day that you won the title, the first event, you started just after 10 o'clock, lost around 12:15, then you're back 4 hours later to play the next event. How difficult is it to prepare for those weekends?
Yeah, it can be quite tough. Obviously, it's a long day. I think we got there about 8:30, and we left after I won the event at about 10 o'clock, so over 12 hours. And you just have to figure out what works for you, I think. So I went out pretty early in the first event of the day. So whether it's, throwing quite a lot, just relaxing, some people drink, some people like to have a meal almost, and some people don't. It is tough figuring out what works for you, especially because every day is different. But it was I managed to figure out something, I guess, and hopefully I can do it again.
Yeah, it worked out well for you that day, and the run to the title probably got lost by some. Your first game, 4-1 down to Wayne Jones, come back and win that one 5-4, and I think you ended up winning 4 deciders in that run, including the final 4-2 down to Owen Bates. You survived the match darts to win it 5-4. What are your memories from your run to the title?
Yeah, there was a problem with like air blowing in the venue, so I really struggled in, I think, the first 3 games, as did everyone else. So I was quite almost lucky to win those because everyone was struggling. I think twice I was, twice my opponent missed match darts. I think Wayne Jones and Thomas Lovely, if I'm not mistaken. And then coming off of those games, I had 2 good games against Patrick Linsky and Christian Kist, which they were both quite tough games. And then onto the final against Owen. Owen's a good mate, and he's a very, very good player. So, I mean, I think coming back from 4-2, he hadn't missed anything, and he was scoring really heavy. I was confident that if I got a shot at double, I would hit it. But it was just managing to get that shot at double, which fortunately I did.
Yeah, and the title puts you 4th on that Challenge Tour Order of Merit after the first weekend, which is a good place to be. It's got you in the first 6 Players' Championship events of the year. When you get that call to play in the first one, what was your reaction to find out that you'd be playing on the Pro Tour for the first time?
Yeah, I was over the moon about that. I've been trying to find out or figure out whether I was likely to get in. Looking at last year, I think last year 4 people dropped out the first one, and then also looking at, did I know anyone couldn't make it? And it turned out I was actually quite lucky because I think Christian Kist and Andy Bolton went to the Euro Tour qualifiers. If they hadn't of, then I probably wouldn't have been in. So I was quite fortunate in that respect, but it was great.
And you've claimed a few scalps already in those 6 events, none bigger than Adrian Lewis on Sunday just gone. What did that win mean to you?
Yeah, that was really nice. Adrian, watching darts, since I have, he's probably one of my favourite players. So to then play against him, that was it was really good for me, I feel, and it was hard to not watch him throw when we were playing and just focus on my own throw because, I think he's got a great throw. But yeah, to win that game, it gave me a lot of confidence going forwards.
And you've played in 3 of these Pro Tour weekends now. What did it feel like walking into the venue for the first one, and compared to the Sunday just gone? Do you feel a little bit more used to it now, or is playing in a room with all those big names and at such a young age as well still something that is a little bit surreal?
I think when I first went in, I was looking around the room and I was like, oh, that's such and such, that's such and such. And almost probably a bit starstruck. But I think it's something that I realised I had to get over quite quickly because, you can't get drawn against someone and be like, oh, that's such and such, and, almost be more worried about who they are or what they've done or anything. You need to just see them as someone else with 3 darts. So it's something that I've tried to get over quite quickly, but it is still quite impressive.
Well, a few more before we let you go, and let's look ahead to this weekend and what could be a very busy few days for you. 4 Challenge Tours on Friday and Saturday, then we've got Players' Championships on Sunday and Monday, all in Germany. What's the plan for you? Do you know yet if you're going to be playing in all 4 days?
Yeah, I'm playing all 4 days. Fly out tomorrow morning, so get settled tomorrow in Germany and try and give it a good go. I struggled a bit with a cold and flu this past weekend, so hopefully I come into the back end of that. So feel ready for it. Obviously, Challenge Tours, long days, so I'm going to need to be nice and prepared and ready to go for that.
And obviously the PDC's keeping you busy this year, but we see you play in ADC events as well, and I'm sure people want to know when you're going to be back on the Modus League as well. Is there any news on that front?
Yeah, I'm back at Modus a month from now. I'm there all week, so that's something I'm very much looking forward to. Yeah, I've played some good darts recently, and the first time at Modus is a great venue, and it's so well run. So it's something I can't wait to get back to.
Well, we look forward to that. And just lastly, I'm guessing from your Twitter page that you're an Arsenal fan. Are they going to do it and win the Premier League this season?
I still think it's too early. I've said all season that I think we'll mess it up and finish second, and they're starting to look a bit more promising. Like coming back from behind against Bournemouth, but I'm still not sure. I still think it might be second.
We shall see. Well, best of luck to Arsenal and best of luck to you this weekend over in Germany, Cameron, and thanks very much for taking the time, and wish you all the best for what else is to come in 2023 as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for having me.